Okay, when you first learn Silom Tao, you punch, you leave your wrist in the center, and you do it here. And you move around, and then you pull back. And you do the punch. You punch, leave your wrist here, and circle around. But later on, you learn to do a Lao Sao. You punch, and you leave the center. You don't go way around, but you have to leave the center to get around the point. So the application for that is just the other one. I punch, he pops. If I leave my hand here, I can't get around his arm. I have to slip around, right, to strike. So when I punch, see? So I punch, he pops, I have to circle around. Now I don't want to go way around like that. I make a tiny circle to get around the arm so I can strike. So that's called the Lao Sao. So we're going to do that as a drill now.
Go.
So one of the purposes of the Fuk Sao is to teach you how to move your limb or somebody else's limb left and right without losing this fixed point in space. See, so let me use your arm for a second. So I block, I keep this fixed point in space and move around, and I can strike. I can do this hand, I can do a jut, and keep it on this fixed point and move around and strike it, right? So when I'm doing this punch, when I punch and he pops, I keep this fixed point in space and Lao Sao around, right? And then strike. So what you were doing was this, watch my elbow. You were leaving this open, you can strike me, okay? So whenever you do this Lao Sao, you keep this fixed point in space like all Wing Chun styles do, regardless of lineage, that fixed point immovable elbow principle. I circle around and then attack. Another thing is I don't block his wrist. If I block his wrist, he's gonna circle around on top of my hand. See? So if I block his wrist, he can make a tiny circle and go around me. Make a tiny circle, real tiny, real slow. Oh, sorry, tiny circle. You can see he gets around, right? But if I block him on his forearm, he has to make a bigger circle to go around. If I block at his elbow, he's gonna make a real big circle to go around. See? You got that open. Okay? All right?
Go.
So you've all seen boxers do that. You throw a jab at me, boxers do this. Even with the glove, they'll do that. So I do this, see? I faked, I struck, I listened to the response from him, and he pushed forward, and then I circle around. So I can go and hit, I can go block hit, I can go and do that. So it doesn't always have to be a committed strike. I can do a BUG to his eye. And you're either gonna stop the BUG or you're gonna get hit in the eye. So I do this, see? You're gonna move, right? Or you're gonna move your hand, use your hand, see? So you do that, so I faked. So I faked for your eye, and you move your hand, and then I BUG. So I can do the punch, and punch you. So before it was a committed strike, he popped, I circled around, strike. So now I can just fake and punch. So try that one too, okay? When he throws a punch, I pop hit. So I pop hit, right? But notice when I do this, I keep my Wu Sao up here to guard my face. When I first learned Wing Chun, I did the Tan here and the Wu here. And people say, why is my Wu so high? It's not so high, it's in my upper gate, which all Wing Chun people have. So I happen to do a Tan Sao in the upper gate. So I block in the upper gate. So it's not too high, it's just an upper gate Tan Sao as opposed to a middle gate Tan Sao. Okay? I prefer to cover my head and train myself to cover my head. So I train my Wu here so it's always here. So he's gonna punch. Now this is what's gonna happen with that Lao Sao. So you punch and I'm gonna do this. Before I do that, you allow my hand. See? Okay? Good. I want everybody to work on that slowly. So you guys just change stance. You can do a round punch. So
Round punch.
yeah, round punch. So I go, see, I turn here and strike. So in the form, I turn here. And I want the bend of my wrist parallel to the tip of my nose. So if I didn't have a hand, I could still do the block. Don't block with your hand because your hand would collapse with a powerful punch. So I remember some people saying, how can you see if your hand's here? I'm not going to stand this way and do that block. It's going to be this way. See, it's going to be in the center, just like this, but put your hand here. See, it's going to be in my center, just like that, but my target's here, so that's how I can see. Okay? So I want you guys to practice cross leg first. He goes a round punch, time. Okay? All right? Let's try that.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you think of a plow, they have a beast of burden, a water buffalo, an ox or whatever, and the farmer has a blade going through the soil. So it plows the soil so he can plant. So when we do our ganzao, it comes here and it goes straight up the center. It doesn't go out here because that's a low bew sow. Just like you have a high bew, this is a low bew. So our ganzao comes straight out the center. Now, this doesn't work if I face square. Come over here for a second. You can punch me in my ribcage. See, there's nothing protecting it. So what happens is when he does the strike to me, I face the point of contact. So my body, see my wrist is in my center, so when he pushes, my body's there. If I was here, there's nothing there. He pushes, there's nothing there. So let's do that strike again, the round punch with the other hand. So I do, high. So I do a tan, and then say he punches to my body, I do a gan. See? So that's the gan, that's why we do this. We actually literally use the name plow. Gan, plowing hand, or cultivating hand. So we plow out. If you go past your sum, your solar plexus, it becomes a fak sao, whiskey hand. You can do a fak sao here, you can do a fak sao up there. So he's gonna do 2 punches, 1 high, 1 low, 1, 2, okay? Let's try that together. So now we got the bong sao. Bong, tan, strike. Good example. I used to learn this. Bong sao, tan sao, and some kind of strike like this. How many people can strike like that? They've been there is. You can, Tara, because you double jointed. So bong, tan, and strike like this. I want to bong, tan, and strike here to the side of the face or something. Unless you're double jointed, you're not going to be able to do much damage like this. Okay? So he's going to do a straight punch, bong, and a round punch, and that's why the woo is here, just in case the second punch comes. But right now we'll deal with just 1 punch. So he punches, bong, strike. So bong, bong. Okay, try that.